How to actually master small talk, even if you're an introvert. Let's be honest, small talk has a bad reputation. People often imagine it as a shallow, boring exchange of random phrases. How's the weather? Oh, it's fine. Cool. Awkward silence. And for introverts, this feels even worse. It's not just about being quiet. It's about feeling drained, like your energy is being pulled out of you every time you're forced to talk to strangers. But here's the truth most people don't realize. Small talk isn't about weather reports or fake smiles. It's actually the gateway to real deep connections. Every strong friendship, every career opportunity, and even many romantic relationships, you guessed it, started with small talk. Think about it. Your closest friend today? There was a first moment. Maybe it was just, hey, nice to meet you. That was small talk. Your colleague who later helped you land a project? It began with a simple, how's your day going? So instead of seeing small talk as a pointless social tax, I want you to see it as planting seeds. The seed looks tiny, but it has the potential to grow into something amazing. And the good news? You don't need to be extroverted, loud, or fake to do it well. You just need a few mental shifts and some easy practical tools. Let me tell you a quick story. Emma, a graphic designer I once met, was painfully shy. At networking events, she'd freeze up. She felt invisible. One day, she decided to try a new approach. Instead of pressuring herself to say something impressive, she made her only goal ask one small, curious question. At her next event, she turned to the person next to her and said, I like your notebook. Where did you get it? That was it. The person lit up, they started chatting about stationery, creativity, and suddenly Emma wasn't invisible anymore. Months later, that very person introduced her to a client who became a big contract. See? A simple moment of small talk opened a door. In this series, I'll show you how to shift your perspective, start conversations without fear, keep them flowing naturally, and even exit gracefully when you're done. We'll go step by step, and by the end, you'll see small talk not as a nightmare, but as a fun, useful skill anyone can master. So let's start with the first mindset shift. Small talk is not about impressing, it's about connecting. Most introverts go wrong because they think, I need to sound smart, funny, or interesting. Wrong. That pressure kills the vibe. Instead, your job is simply to be present and curious. People don't remember the perfect words you said, they remember how you made them feel. When you free yourself from the need to impress, you suddenly relax. And when you relax, others do too. Part 2, building real momentum in small talk. Now, here's the real secret. Small talk is less about what you say and more about how you carry yourself. Think of it like dancing. Nobody expects you to be a professional ballroom dancer at a casual party. They just want you to show up, step onto the floor, and keep the rhythm going. When you approach a conversation, imagine it's like tossing a ball back and forth. You don't need to throw a perfect pitch every time. Just keep the ball in the air. That's it. So how do you keep the ball in the air without feeling like you're forcing it? Let's break it down. First, you need to listen with genuine curiosity. This is where introverts actually have an advantage. See, most people think being a good talker means always having something clever to say. But the best conversationalists are often the best listeners. When you actually care about what the other person is saying, the next question almost writes itself. For example, let's say you're chatting with someone at a friend's house. They mention they just got back from a trip. Instead of panicking and thinking, oh no, what should I say? You can simply lean on curiosity. You might ask, oh nice, where did you go? They'll probably light up and share more details. And now you've unlocked a whole new branch of the conversation. That's the power of small, simple follow-up questions. You don't need to be funny, you don't need to be smart, you just need to be interested. Second, sprinkle in a little bit of your own experience. Think of conversations as building bridges. If you only ask questions, it can start to feel like an interview. But if you share small pieces of your own life, you create connection. Let's go back to that travel example. After they tell you about their trip, you might say, "That's awesome. I've never been there, but last summer I visited a small beach town and it was so relaxing." See what happened? You just shared something personal without stealing the spotlight. That's how trust and comfort grow naturally. And here's another tip. Don't underestimate the power of humor. You don't have to be a stand-up comedian. Sometimes just a lighthearted comment or a playful observation is enough to make the other person feel relaxed. For instance, if someone says, "Traffic was horrible getting here," you could smile and reply, "Yeah, I think half the city was trying to arrive at the same time." It's simple, it's relatable, and it makes the interaction feel lighter. But maybe you're thinking, okay, this all sounds nice, but what if I still freeze up? That's normal. And here's the truth. Every conversation is practice. You don't need to hit a home run every time. You just need to show up, toss the ball, and trust that the rhythm will build. One more thing. Don't be afraid of silence. Seriously, a pause isn't the end of the world. Sometimes a short pause gives both of you space to think, breathe, or come up with the next topic. It's like taking a sip of water in the middle of a run. Totally natural. Remember, small talk is not about impressing people. It's about creating micro moments of connection. And as an introvert, you have a hidden strength, your ability to go deep once the surface layer is broken. Small talk is just the key that unlocks that door. Part 3. The mindset shift that changes everything. Here's the truth bomb. Small talk isn't really about the words, it's about the vibe. Think about the last time you chatted with someone who instantly made you feel comfortable. Maybe they didn't say anything groundbreaking, probably just something like, "Oh wow, this line is taking forever, huh?" But the way they said it, the relaxed smile, the friendly tone, made you feel safe to open up. That's the real secret. People don't remember your exact words. They remember how you made them feel. So instead of stressing over being clever, focus on being warm. Instead of thinking, "What smart thing should I say?" try asking yourself, "How can I make this moment lighter?" For example, if you're in an elevator with someone and there's an awkward silence, you don't need a TED Talk opener. A simple, "This elevator music makes me feel like I'm in a 90s sitcom," said with a grin, can be enough. They'll chuckle and boom, you've turned silence into connection. And here's the mindset shift. Stop aiming to impress, aim to connect. When you let go of the pressure to sound interesting, you naturally become more authentic. And authenticity, that's magnetic. People lean toward it because it feels refreshing in a world full of scripts and fake smiles. Part 4. The power of curiosity. Now, let's dig deeper. If you're an introvert, chances are you're a great listener already. That's a superpower in small talk. Most people love to talk about themselves. Not because they're selfish, but because sharing makes us feel seen. If you ask someone about their life with genuine interest, you'll quickly notice how their eyes light up. Here's a trick. Use what I call the magic 3. Step 1, notice something. Step 2, comment on it. Step 3, ask a simple follow-up. For example, you notice someone's phone case has a travel sticker on it. You say, "That's a cool sticker. Been to Italy recently?" They answer, "Yeah, I went last summer." You follow up, "Oh, nice. What was your favorite part of the trip?" And just like that, you've moved from "nice weather today" to a mini story about gelato, gondolas, and maybe even a shared travel dream. Here's the kicker. Curiosity takes the spotlight off you. You don't have to perform or scramble for clever lines. You just guide the conversation with interest. And honestly,
people will walk away thinking you were the great conversationalist, even though they did most of the talking.
Part 5. Turning awkward moments into golden ones. Let's be honest. Sometimes small talk feels awkward. Maybe there's a pause. Maybe you say something and the other person just nods. That's normal. But here's the secret. Awkward doesn't mean failure. Awkward just means human. Instead of panicking, you can flip awkwardness into humor. Let's say you comment on the weather and there's silence. You can just laugh and say, "Wow, we're really nailing this small talk thing, huh?" That little self-aware joke breaks the tension. People love when you name the elephant in the room. It shows confidence. It shows you don't take yourself too seriously. And often it makes the other person relax because they were probably feeling the same thing. Another trick, change the setting into part of the conversation. If you're at a coffee shop and the barista mispronounces someone's name, you can lean in and whisper, "I feel like they've butchered my name every single time." Relatable humor instantly bonds people. Remember, small talk isn't about perfect flow. It's about creating micro moments of connection. Even a smile shared after an awkward pause is progress. Part 6. From small talk to real connection. Here's the ultimate truth. Small talk is just the doorway. The goal isn't to stay in the shallow end forever, it's to gently move into deeper waters. Once you've warmed up with light comments, you can start weaving in more personal, meaningful questions. Not interrogation style, just natural, curious steps. For example, instead of staying stuck at, "So, what do you do?" you can ask, "What got you into that?" That one little twist takes the conversation from job titles to personal stories. Or instead of, "Did you like the movie?" you can ask, "What part stuck with you the most?" Suddenly, you're not talking reviews, you're sharing perspectives. This is where small talk becomes real talk, where strangers start to feel like potential friends. And here's the beautiful part. You don't need to do this with everyone. Not every chat has to lead to deep connection. Some will stay surface level, and that's okay. But every once in a while, you'll stumble into a conversation that feels electric, where laughter flows, ideas bounce, and time disappears. Those moments often start with something as simple as, "Hey, long line today, huh?" The takeaway. So, let's recap. Small talk isn't about being clever. It's about being warm. Curiosity is your superpower. Ask, notice, follow up. Awkward moments aren't enemies, they're opportunities for humor. The real goal is connection, not performance. When you stop seeing small talk as shallow and start seeing it as a doorway, everything changes. You'll feel lighter, freer, more open, and people will feel that too. So next time you're stuck in line, at a party, or even in an awkward elevator ride, remember this: you don't need the perfect words. You just need presence, a dash of curiosity, and the courage to say the first simple thing. Who knows? That tiny, "How's your day going?" might just be the start of a story you'll never forget.